Mr. Wasserman, Jeff Wasserman.
Good evening, Jeff Wasserman, 365 South Pascack Road. Mr. Mayor, trustees, residents, and guests, thank you for your attendance this evening. This truly is a demonstration of democracy in action, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it and to have an opportunity to address you this evening. I'm speaking tonight as a resident, but in full transparency, I am a member of the Chestnut Ridge Planning Board, and I am also a candidate for village trustee in the March 19th election, which is 9 weeks from today. I'm not going to discuss specifics of the proposed amendments to the zoning code this evening. The village board has my response as represented in my comments and recommendations the planning board submitted on May 29th, 2018. Those comments apply to the initial draft shared with the board, but it's unfortunate the planning board has not been asked to review any subsequent revisions, especially when they were significantly more than just a few tweaks. While the Board of Trustees was not obligated to solicit the planning board's review of the revisions, the scope and nature of the proposed law and the subsequent revisions warranted doing so, in my opinion. I'd like to share 3 observations related to the proposed text amendments. 1, the village has never discriminated against religious applications and has never had an Arlupa challenge. In my 5 years on the planning board, I have worked with 3 applicants wishing to build houses or places of worship. That's 3 in nearly 5 years. Arlupa has not been adequately tested in our village, and so I do not see the need for the extent of the proposed amendments. Our land use boards have received training specific to handling applications for places of worship, and we have qualified counsel to help us make sound determinations with our existing laws. 2, the applications that have come before the planning board have all included provisions for on-site parking. These include Congregation or Mordecai, or 2 Madeline Terrace, an application for what I consider to be a residential place of worship, which is proposed on 0.63 of an acre in a residential district, and they're requesting 16 on-site parking spaces. I believe this applicant and all applicants recognize the need for on-site parking, and this requirement should not be removed. The planning board worked with Mordecai and applied guidelines outlined in Arlupa. The applicant satisfied the board to the extent that we referred them to the zoning board for variances. The ZBA granted Mordecai 10 variances on November 24th, 2015. This clearly demonstrates deference to religious institutions and a willingness by our land use boards to work with them. I anticipate Mordecai will be back in front of the planning board to seek preliminary site plan approval. This is a clear example of how our land use boards are working with religious applications to attain their goals without violating Arlupa. 3, my 3rd point pertains to the Orthodox Jewish Coalition, or OJC, which was the sole organization that lobbied the board for the law. I'd like to submit a transcript of a voice message from a representative of the OJC. The caller stated, quote, "The update to the House of Worship law is extremely detrimental to what we, the OJC, have been trying to accomplish. I don't think this can even work for what we are trying to accomplish, and therefore, we are back to the drawing board." That was October 18th, 2018. Based on these 3 points, I have 2 requests for Mayor Prestee, Trustee Cohen, Trustee Miller, Trustee Valentine, and Trustee Van Alstine. 1, since the village has not demonstrated a need for places of worship, a need for the places of worship law, and the only organization lobbying for the law does not like the law, I request the village board stop and start over by first conducting a comprehensive plan and holding workshops to seek dialogue and input from all residents of Chestnut Ridge. I agree, the village is changing, and I understand there may be a need for amendments, but I believe there's a better way to serve all the residents of our village than what you have demonstrated. And 2, to those wishing to either build a new place of worship or legitimize an existing place of worship, what are you waiting for? The village boards are open for business. Get together with your lawyer, your planner, your engineer, and formalize your applications. Meet with CDRC, Planning and Zoning. If you need a special permit from the village, apply for your special permit. Bring the full power of our looper with you. Let's sit down and hammer out a plan that works for you and that works for the village. I think you will be pleased with the process. The land use boards in the village of Chestnut Ridge are open and waiting for you. Thank you for your time. I'm glad to see that everyone here is as passionate about Chestnut Ridge as I am. Thank you.